Hey everyone, we're going to jump straight into today's video. It's going to be a bit of a shorter one. We're going to take a look at BIOS 335 versus 336 on the ROG Ally. I'm running the latest Ally drivers, which is 23.10.2. And as usual, all tests have been run 3 times and I'll show you the averages. So let's start off with Timespy. At 15 watts, you can see that there's a very minor bump to 2375 up from 2367, so nothing really notable. And then at 30 watt, we have 3065 versus 3058. So again, not really anything to notice here. Moving over to Geekbench 6, at 15 watt, our CPU scores have actually dipped a little bit, going over to 336. The biggest dip being for the multi-core score. And then taking a look at 30 watt, we have dips for 336 here as well for both single core and multi-core. Moving over to the GPU test, we have a minor bump when we move up to 336, but nothing really important here, only about 100 points. And then when we take a look at 30 watt, we can actually see a minor dip when we go to 336, so the scores are so close that it's not really much of a difference. Now that we've got the benchmarks done, let's take a look at the usual games. So first up is Forza Horizon 5. And at 15 watts, you can see that there's a minor dip when we move to 336. It's about a frame or so. Nothing too dramatic, but it is a dip rather than an improvement. And then moving over to 30 watts, we can see that the story remains that it's a small disadvantage for 336, about a frame or so. So unfortunately, there's another dip here for going to 336. We had the same issue going from 334 to 335, so not going in a good direction. And then taking a look at Forza Motorsport, same thing, just a minor dip going from 335 to 336. Nothing really dramatic, but it's about half a frame. And then taking a look at 30 watt, once again, we're losing about a half a frame, so nothing dramatic. It's not an improvement, but it's not really a dramatic drop. Now taking a look at Starfield, we have a minor improvement going up to 336. We have just under a frame at 15 watt and just over a frame at 30 watt. So Starfield's slightly better. Now we'll take a look at Cyberpunk, and for Cyberpunk at 15 watts, you can see that the scores are pretty much the same, just a minor difference. And then taking a look at 30 watt, again, we have like a half a frame advantage for 336, so very minor improvement here. Next, we'll take a look at God of War, and at 15 watts, you can see that there's a very minor dip going from 335 to 336 at 0.3 frames per second. And then taking a look at 30 watts, we have about a half a frame advantage going from 335 to 336, so nothing really dramatic here. Which seems to be the theme over the last few BIOS updates. Not really much of a difference, it's all within margin of error. And now that we've finished God of War, we'll head over to Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and at 15 watts, we're seeing pretty well the same scores here, like 0.1 really is nothing. And at 30 watts, we have a difference of 0.3, so again, not really anything that's worth mentioning. Taking a look at the two BIOS versions, you can see that there's not really any difference, at least in the games that I've tested. It may vary by the game you're playing. I wasn't really sure what we would see with this BIOS update. The recent updates really haven't changed much, but from Asus, we heard that apparently there was supposed to be optimized performance. So I'm not sure what's all impacted with that, but it certainly didn't really have a difference in the games that we've tested. If you're interested in updating to the new BIOS, I'll leave a link in the description. It's not in my Asus yet, but it should be coming soon. If you're curious to see some other results, Filterless also put out a video on this, so check out that. I'll leave that link down below as well. And that's going to wrap it up for this one. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.